What's up, gamers? I needed to pop on because Nintendo Switch, as you see from my title, let's be honest, they're blowing 2020. And I just watched the Nintendo Direct Mini that they surprised us with the announcement yesterday that it was going to happen today at 10 a.m. Eastern. On my lunch, I watched it. It's only 8 minutes. Doesn't really tell us anything. Didn't give us anything that they'd been talking about, quote unquote. We didn't get the Mario games. We didn't get more Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 footage. We don't have Super Mario Odyssey DLC. We don't even have Splatoon DLC. And it's just time to be honest among the gaming community, because Microsoft and Sony straight up have told us that they are moving on. And last week Microsoft essentially discontinued the Xbox One X and the One S, and they're moving on. Sony clearly has moved on because they've had their event, and I've been one of Sony's harshest critics, especially here in 2020. And if I'm going to criticize them so harshly, then I need to come at Nintendo, whether I am a giant Nintendo fan or not, because 2020 is wide open for the taking, and Nintendo's given us Animal Crossing and now Paper Mario 2. So, Animal Crossing was great, don't get me wrong, but where are the games? And if you're not making first-party games, where are all the indie games and third-party games? Oh, that's what today was supposed to be. And yet, here we sit with an update of a couple games we already knew that were coming, and then the surprise RPG at the end. I'll let you guys be the judge and watch it for yourself, but I'm very, very, very disappointed in Nintendo for 2020, and it's... If I didn't have a couple games on the backlog to play, I seriously would have played Animal Crossing and then have not touched my Switch since. So I put 40 to 45 hours into Animal Crossing and moved on to something else. Sony, just over the last couple months, has given us The Last of Us Part 2. Whether you like it or not, they've given us and Naughty Dog together a great, giant 25-hour game to play. And then just this last week again gave us Ghosts of Tsushima. Xbox, I believe, gave us Ori, but they've admitted, they've come out and told us that they are moving on. They're focusing on the next generation. Nintendo not only isn't making games, but they're denying the fact that they're making another console. So what are you doing, Nintendo? What are you doing for us who you've sold more Nintendo Switches in 2020 than you have? I think they've essentially doubled their sales. I mean, I'm not too specific on that, but they've clearly outsold everything. You can't find a Switch most of the time. You occasionally can find a Switch Lite. So the gaming community has spoken. They want your stuff, and you have given us nothing. Today was disrespectful to gamers, kind of a disgrace. And to be honest, they're blowing 2020. And after such a great year last year, it's sad, really. And if they may try to recover here, because as you look around on the internet, the internet's losing their mind just like I am, because they haven't given us anything, and today was supposed to be a light into what they were giving us, and it's again nothing. No additions, nothing that's blowing us away. And it's time to call Nintendo out on it, because they're they're silent. So Nintendo likes to be very secretive. They like to take things down. They don't like leaks, even though leaks still happen. Nintendo Direct leaks still happen. But their secrecy is destroying their own fanhood, and their fanboys right now, because at this point, I don't blame anyone who wants to go out and pre-order and go out and ensure that they get a PS5 at this point, because until we watch Xbox's showcase this week for games, Sony, as much as I hate to say it, are the only ones that have been upfront with us and are giving us something for 2020. So if there is a Switch 2 on the horizon, give us a hint. If Breath of the Wild is going to happen anytime soon, give us a hint. If you're making an Odyssey 2, give us something. At this point, I will take DLC for Super Mario Odyssey. One of the best Mario games ever made all time. One of the best Switch games of all time. And we've had nothing since launch except the little mini online game with Luigi, the balloon thing. It's tough. 2020 is wide open. At this point, what is Game of the Year down to? Game of the Year is down to Animal Crossing, Doom Eternal. There's another one. So Sony and Microsoft at least gave us Doom Eternal, yet Nintendo Switch is over here promising it. It's frustrating. It's frustrating because I have a Switch and I have a Switch Lite, and I've been one of the biggest supporters and pushers of the Nintendo Switch. I feel like everyone should own a Nintendo Switch. There's so many great games. It's so multifunctional. You can take it wherever you want to go to play great, huge, gigantic stories and games. And then 2020, they've crapped on us. Animal Crossing, Game of the Year nominee, The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Doom Eternal, and what else have we gotten? And we were relying on Nintendo because they don't have a new console coming. This was their opportunity to just take hold and lead the charge in gaming. They've sold consoles, and I feel like that's what they're living off of. They're living off Animal Crossing, they're living off gaming console or hardware sales, and they're not giving us anything. And if you are working on stuff and delayed it, let us know. Tell us. Give us something. Not a Nintendo Direct with DLC for some random Zelda game that came out last year, or had Zelda characters in it last year, and some crappy WWE game with big heads and crappy artwork and terrible looking arcadey gameplay. I guess that's all I got. You're better than this, Nintendo. I guess that's what I'm saying. And if you don't come up with something soon, holiday, Microsoft and Sony are going to make you forget the Nintendo Switch even exists. That's it. Happy gaming, guys. Catch up on your backlog, because apparently that's all we're going to get for this year, is our own backlogs and a couple Sony games. Microsoft, I mean, whatever. Let's hold Nintendo accountable.